welcome to Tech and Sports Podcast. Tech and Sports is a show about how technology is revolutionizing all the major sports as well as health and fitness. You can find this episode from your podcast service of choice. Hello everyone, I'm Paul Delny-Bledor, the editor of Tech and Sports. With me here today is Mandy Kovacs, a.k.a. Carlton Kid.
Hello.
Alex Radu is away on assignment in Washington, D.C., and rumor has it, Mandy, he'll have some news from Magic Johnson himself, the NBA Hall of Famer.
I can tell you right now that he is fangirling very hard and is super excited to be there.
Yes, for those of you who don't know, he's a big Lakers fan. Collectively, we are your third stringers. On the podcast today, we have some updates from past stories, and Mandy met with Fitbit this week, so we're going to talk about that. In our debate portion, we are going to talk about the big fight between Canelo Alvarez and Triple G that ended in controversy. We also have incredibly hard trivia. So sit back and don't panic because the third stringers are coming into the game. Mandy, we talked about Haley, that tremendous story about this young girl who wants to throw out the first pitch in every ballpark, and you have an update on that.
Right, yeah, so this was Alex's story either last week or 2 weeks ago, but I wanted to give a quick update about this because Haley Dawson, she has a 3D printed hand. And her goal is to throw the pitch in every single ballpark. And so far, more than half of the league has responded.
Awesome.
And so the update is that the Blue Jays, our hometown heroes, have invited her to throw out the pitch at some point before the end of the season. And the MLB itself has said that Haley will be able to throw out the first pitch in Game 4 of the World Series this year. So that's pretty
awesome.
exciting,
yes,
right?
That's great. That's great news.
Yeah.
So earlier this week, you met with Fitbit. What did they have to say?
Right, so I feel like we haven't really talked about health and fitness very much in this podcast, even though it's supposed to be part of it.
Yes.
So today I wanted to talk about that. And Fitbit has released their first ever smartwatch, as well as wireless headphones, which are pretty cool. And they both come out in October of this year. So, I mean, just in like really a week or so.
And, Apple also came out with their updated watch.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think Fitbit is really trying to challenge them with this, and not to mention the fact that at $400 for the Fitbit Ionic, it's about, a quarter of the price of an Apple Watch?
Well, the Hermes version of the Apple Watch is, I think, $1,300. But I think you can get a Series 3 Apple Watch for maybe around $300.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that.
Okay, so, pretty similar.
Right.
But yeah, so I got a chance to check it out, and I mean, on first glance, it was fantastic. So the watch, like I said, is called Fitbit Ionic, and it comes with your typical fitness monitoring features that all Fitbit devices have, like an activity and step counter, a sleep tracker, and heart rate monitor. But what sets it apart from traditional Fitbit devices is that it supports a variety of different apps. So, I mean, like, you can put your Starbucks app on it, for example.
Oh.
And it also supports mobile payments, which I thought was super cool. And so the whole point behind this is that Fitbit wants to have, like, a hands-free, phone-free type of experience for all their customers. So, I mean, with all of these features, like, you can go running and then stop at Starbucks along the way, and you don't need to worry about bringing your phone or wallet with you. As long as you have your activity counter, basically.
That's right.
You can go get a drink.
Wouldn't it be great, though, like right at the end of your run, a Starbucks barista just gives it to you? Wouldn't that be amazing?
I mean, I'm sure the app would support the order ahead, so I mean, that very well could be reality.
With Uber Eats or something like that, right?
Yeah, that would be fantastic. And so Fitbit has also added 2.5 gigs of storage on the device, which, I mean, doesn't really seem like a lot, but for a watch, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you can put about 300 songs on your Ionic smartwatch if you really want. And the company is also trying to work with music streaming services like Pandora and possibly Spotify to make music a little bit easier for people that want to work out but don't want to bring both their phone and have this watch on them.
Now, there's no cellular service like the Apple Watch had that in their latest iteration.
Right. So this doesn't, but it has an improved GPS system so you can track your runs more accurately.
Okay.
And it also connects to Wi-Fi.
So this is more of a purpose-built watch for health and fitness
Exactly.
as opposed to your all-around Apple device.
Yeah, so this is definitely a fitness-oriented smartwatch. So, I mean, it also comes with, like, preset workouts that you can choose from. It also comes with your own personal coach as well. So if you wanted to, like, listen to these workouts on your headphones, like, it'll be super motivating and tell you, oh, yeah, like, a couple more seconds and you're at your personal best and that sort of thing. And so the feature I thought was most interesting, though, is that it is water resistant up to 15 meters. and it can track swimming activity. So if you're swimming laps in a pool, it can now track those lengths and those laps for you. And I mean, I'm a swimmer, so I think that's super useful, and not many other devices can do that.
So it's good for cross training, right? Because
Yes.
it's outdoor and in the water too.
Right, absolutely. It really kind of goes across all different types of fitness and workouts.
Awesome.
And so lastly, I also got to check out the Fitbit Flyer, which is the company's first foray into the wireless headphones world. So they've never done anything like this before, and they actually teamed up with a company called Waves, which does a lot of sound and audio stuff for the film industry. And so this is their first wireless device as well, and so it comes with fantastic sound quality, and it also comes with a power boost mode for those really intense workouts, and it'll up all the EQ and the bass in your music and kind of give you like a surround sound type of feeling. And so these flyers are kind of made to go with the smartwatch, so you can pair them together and work out and have a complete experience. And they also come with a tip kit, which is basically just a fancy way of saying they have like interchangeable earbuds.
Okay.
So they'll fit like any type of ear, and they're really meant to be like fitness oriented again, so they won't fall out. They're super durable. And they're also water resistant as well, so they won't break if you're a really heavy sweater or if you like working out in the rain.
Or would it go in the pool?
I'm not
Swim
sure
with the
about
music
that.
going on? That'd be amazing.
It's possible. I mean, if they are made with a hydrophobic coated material, so they are definitely waterproof. I'm not sure if you could swim with them, but
So these are not headphones, per se. Or are they?
they're fancy headphones. Yes.
Fancy headphones. Are they made for running, or are they like, those Beats ones where they just
No.
encompass
So
your
like
whole
they're
ear?
earbuds, so they go into your ear, and they have like a connected
Okay.
that goes behind your head,
All right.
and so that's adjustable and whatnot. But so they are fitness oriented headphones, so they're not supposed to fall out even if you're doing super crazy intense workouts or if you're doing jumping jacks, that sort of
Okay.
thing.
And does this come separately?
Yes, so they do come
much?
separately. So these headphones retail for about $170 in Canada, and again they'll be available in October.
Okay. Great. Well, we'll keep abreast of what Fitbit is doing. Obviously, they're upping their game to try and capture more of the health and fitness market.
Yeah, they're really trying to go for that segment of the market. So, I mean, I wish them all the luck, and we should have a review up for those devices sometime soon.
Good. Okay, so do you remember a few podcasts ago, Mandy? I believe I wasn't here, but I did an interview with the with a VP from DAZN, which they spelled DAZN. Well, they did not have a very good opening weekend in terms of their live streaming service with the NFL. The UK-based DAZN wants to be the Netflix for sports, but its initial kick at the can with the NFL Sunday Ticket, which shows every out-of-market NFL matchup on Sundays, produced less than stellar results, as fans had to sit through delayed feeds, bad audio, and service skipping. Not good if your favorite team is facing 4th and 1 and they're going for it and you don't know what's going to happen. But DAZN, to their credit, has been pretty transparent with their issues and released this statement. Alex Rice, who we've had on the show before, who's the DAZN managing director of rights and strategic development, said, the debut in Canada did not go as planned. Quote, no excuses. It is not how we wanted our journey to start in a country of such passionate fans. Our top priority has been getting to the root cause of the issues and giving fans the viewing experience they expect from us. We have reviewed the entire customer experience so far and can confirm that many of the issues subscribers faced this past weekend have been resolved. And Rice also promised a time frame for compensation to DAZN subscribers.
Huh, okay. So, I mean, what were some of the problems that people had? I heard a lot of things that they had issues, but I didn't hear any specific stories.
Well, the audio issue was with the late start of the Colts-Rams game on Sunday, where the results were of a human error from DAZN's side. So Rice said that these will not be ongoing issues, and DAZN has placed additional checks and measures to strengthen this process. But there were also a lot of error codes. So, you click on a game and, error, just like the 404 error in your computer.
Right.
As for the picture quality issues, Rice told us that DAZN has completely detailed diagnostics analysis and found that while the majority of the fans are connected to DAZN in HD, some have been unable to enjoy the games in full HD experience due to connectivity issues. So DAZN has been working as hard as possible, according to Rice, to bring this to everyone. And they have identified a number of technical solutions which will help more subscribers to access the full HD experience across all connected devices. And let's face it, Mandy, nowadays, now that we have HD, especially with hockey, you just can't go back to the regular SD.
No.
version.
It's like going back to like prehistoric cave eras.
That's right. Or maybe like in black and white.
Yeah.
I don't know. So some subscribers also have been experiencing broadcast time lag. While an element of lag is inherent with over-the-top streaming, usually around 30 seconds, Rice did say that the company knows the feed has been delayed longer at times. And again, DAZN is working to close that gap. So that's an update on DAZN. I'm sure DAZN will be coming back with more news.
Do you know if anyone's getting refunds for the issues?
Yeah, supposedly they're working on a time frame to compensate DAZN subscribers here in Canada. Maybe they'll get like a free month or something like that. It's $20 a month, and you get like an unlimited amount of sporting events, not just the NFL Sunday Ticket. They're big into soccer, and I think they had the Canelo Alvarez Triple G fight too, which we'll be talking about right now. I believe.
Yeah, let's do it.
So before we get into that, trivia, very hard impossible trivia.
I don't have Alex to hold me, to pull me up in this anymore.
Well, Alex isn't very good, although we got the two podcasts ago, I think he got the question.
Yeah,
right.
Although I think one of them he cheated. Don't tell him that I told you.
All right. So Gennady Golovkin did not lose the match Saturday. He also did not win it. It was a draw. And so his reign as the middleweight champion of the world continues. He owns all the prestigious belts in a WBC, WBA, all the alphabet championships that there are in boxing these days. But so he's been the champion for over 7 years, which is a very long time in boxing.
Yeah.
But he's still 3 years shy of the record for the longest reign as middleweight champion of 10 years. So the question is, who is that person? Do you want a hint?
Yep.
So do you want his number of title defenses, the city he's from, or his nickname?
The nickname.
So his nickname is the Executioner. He came into the ring wearing a hangman's mask.
Oh my God.
Yes.
That's morbid.
Isn't it morbid?
Huh.
Okay, I'll give you another hint, but let's talk about the fight. It was a great fight, but I definitely had Golovkin beating Canelo Alvarez.
Like most people.
Yeah, like around 8-4. But the judges' scorecards were really, really odd. One scorecard had it 118-110 for Alvarez, and that's not close to what occurred in the ring.
No.
One scorer had it tied at 114, and one had a close decision for Golovkin. And I think that was more or less what most people saw. And so there's been startups, and even HBO has put their hand in the IoT sensor technology. And my question to you is, should we start putting sensors in gloves that could obviously track punches thrown, punches landed, and things like that to avoid sort of the corruption, the dark underbelly, the black eye of boxing, which has been corrupt for over 100 years. What do you think?
Well, that's a loaded question. And my answer kind of has two parts because, I've always been a proponent for like sensors and using more IoT devices in sports. But I don't know if they should be really the basis of all scoring. So, like, for example, like sensors in boxing gloves, like it's an interesting idea, but if you're using them to measure how many punches are thrown, and that's kind of how boxing matches are really decided, it's going to count every single movement. But how do those sensors differentiate from, a light jab that may not even hit its target or a huge knockout punch? Right? Like those are kind of things that you need humans watching to differentiate between and to really understand the impact of those hits on the total outcome of the match.
Right.
So, I mean, like, you can look at the Mayweather-McGregor fight from the end of August this year. If you were tracking the number of punches thrown by McGregor through sensors in his gloves, I mean, it would give you a completely different picture than what actually happened. Because the scorecard indicates that McGregor got in more punches and had a better percentage in 10 rounds against Mayweather than Manny Pacquiao did against Mayweather in their 12-round fight in 2015.
Right, but most of those punches were light taps to the chin.
Exactly.
Just got a glove on him, basically.
Right. Like the Pacquiao fight was a much closer decision, I think, than the McGregor-Mayweather fight. So, I mean, if you're using based on the punches, McGregor clearly didn't win the match. If you were only looking at punches thrown, then it would be a completely different story. Right. So, I mean, I think it's a good start, and it's definitely a good way of making things more accurate, maybe taking out some of the corruption in the sport, like you said, but I don't know if it should be a full basis.
I think it has to be there, or else you're going to get another black eye for boxing. Let's face it, this fight... if you listen to the commentary, they were already talking about a trilogy series between Golovkin and Canelo Alvarez. They're already talking about a rematch next May, I believe. But should there be a real rematch? Because I think Golovkin convincingly won. But there has been some movement in this area. There is a startup called Strike Tech, and they make wearable sensors in boxing and MMA gloves to track real-time punch speed, force, technique, and training. But they're just trying to sell this or position their product for training, not actually for scoring. And I mentioned HBO. HBO was awarded a patent in 2015 for its sensor technology that measures and transmits the force at which a boxing glove hits someone's face. But the problem with that is it could also determine that maybe said fighter did not hit him very hard, and he just dropped anyways. And there's in the history of boxing, people talk about the big phantom punch that Muhammad Ali supposedly knocked out Sonny Liston with, but no one's ever saw that punch. But we all saw. Well, they saw it. Before our time, I know.
I may not have seen it in person.
Well, you can see it on YouTube if you ever want to go back out there and get it. So if you register a low rating, then it puts into question, was the boxer actually trying? But I still think this is where this sport really needs a spark, because I've said it many times. It's a dead sport. No one really looks at boxing until there's a big fight. It's not like, the four major sports where there's daily action and people watch it and really get interested in it and follow it. Boxing, I mean, I can't name you more than 5 boxers. So it needs something to get people off thinking that it's corrupted.
Right. No, I would have to agree with you there.
All right. So do you want another hint, or do you know the answer?
I mean, realistically, I'm not going to get this, so...
Okay, he had 20 title defenses, which is amazing. And he's from the Fighting City of Philadelphia.
Oh.
Bernard Hopkins.
Oh. Yep.
The Executioner.
Don't know that name.
Well, that's it for Tech and Sports. Make sure to subscribe and like us on iTunes and Google Play. My Twitter handle is Paulo at CDN. Mandy, what's yours?
I am Mandy V. Kovacs, and for
Alex's?
Yeah, our colleague who is unfortunately not here, but will be back next week, is at Alex T. Radu.
Okay, so make sure to go to itbusiness.ca/sports for more great tech and sports content. We are your third stringers signing off.